Less than 1 week into the United Auto Workers strike, and already the ripple effects are spreading to other companies, causing layoffs and delays. Thanks for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. Right now, workers are off the job at just 3 plants, but more could be shut down by the end of the week. NBC's Maggie Vespa joins us from the picket line in Wayne, Michigan, with the potential fallout if the Big Three don't make the union's next deadline.
Hey guys, yeah, I can't imagine how sort of on pins and needles you must be knowing that could be imminent. And here's the thing, no one knows, as you know, where the new sites are going to be, how many workers are going to walk out. Basically, come noon on Friday, barring any major progress, how big this could be. I'll show you, or how big it will get. I'll show you kind of the picketers out here along, again, in front of this Ford, Michigan plant. We're in Wayne, Michigan right now, just outside of Detroit. They've been here every day, all day, overnight. You can hear the honking going by. You can hear the support. But again, we are talking about a stalemate between UAW and the Big Three, GM, Ford, and Chrysler owner Stellantis. They're at odds over major things still, like pay, the length of work weeks, job security amid the kind of transition to electric vehicles, that kind of thing. And that noon Friday deadline, that is now looming large over all of this. Because again, UAW is saying if they don't see what the president calls serious progress by noon on Friday, that is when they say this targeted strike could very well expand. We talked about the impact on your economy. We're also hearing about impacts just kind of on the broader industry. Again, suppliers making parts for these companies, so outside companies, that knowing kind of how big this could get, how long they expect it to go on, aka they don't think it'll be resolved anytime soon, they're already thinking about layoffs. I talked to the CEO of a Michigan-based supplier who said as early as Monday, he's going to start asking for volunteers on his staff, up to 100 of them, to walk away from their jobs for as long as this basically goes on. Of course, again, the UAW and the Big Three, no one expecting any major progress by that Friday noon deadline. Another conversation that a lot of economists are having, how long could it take before consumers feel the effects? They say it could be within weeks that we start to see car prices go up and shortages of parts. So guys, a lot of things remain to be seen as we kind of wait for this to develop. I'll send it back to you.
Here in the bi-state, the strike at the Wentzville GM plant is already affecting other companies in the region. U.S. Steel is temporarily idling its blast furnace B in Granite City. The company provides steel to the Wentzville plant, so it could mean hundreds of temporary layoffs. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth calls the company's reasoning disingenuous. She goes on saying, quote, "I will do everything in my power to ensure U.S. Steel sticks to its word that this is a temporary idling, helping those hardworking Illinoisans keep their jobs and reopen Blast Furnace B as quickly as possible." As we approach Friday's deadline, we will keep you updated on air, online at ksdk.com, and of course on the 5 on Your Side app. It is free in your phone's app store.
12:03, your weather first forecast on this gloomy day. It's cloudy around, and it's much cooler than yesterday. We've had some abnormally warm, dry feeling temperatures like yesterday. It was very nice, and clouds have kind of settled in ahead of some rain, which we really need overall. It's just a matter of when is it going to get here. We see a lot of this rain off to our southwest here at this moment from Sullivan, where it's picked up a little bit. The key component for this, there's no lightning at all, and they're not going to be, but some light rain from Cuba, Rolla, all the way up to Richwoods, Belgrade's picking up a little bit more. And this is still taking a sweet time to get into the metro. The leading edge, maybe a couple of sprinkles now starting to work their way in Union, Ville Ridge, and maybe into Pacific as well. It'll take some time to get here. As we look downtown, it's dry. Temperatures, though, much cooler, 74 degrees. It's starting to get a little bit more humid. It certainly is more noticeable than yesterday. It's going to be key for us the rest of the evening as temperatures are getting close to 80. We'll see more of those showers start to fill in. We'll time that out for you and show you multiple opportunities ahead of this weekend.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Gary. Now an update to breaking news we first brought you early this morning. We've learned an early morning crash at the Target in Brentwood Promenade was deadly. It happened around 5:30 this morning. Brentwood police tell us the driver of an SUV died after crashing into Target's building. The driver was the only person in the car. Right now, police haven't said exactly what caused that crash. Less than an hour from now, the Federal Reserve will reveal if interest rates will go up, down, or stay the same. Right now, the latest data points to a pause on increases. That would mean a break for borrowers looking to get new credit cards or large loans. Last month, inflation ticked back up, rising 3.7% year over year. Right now, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley and advocates are rallying outside the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. They're calling for compensation for victims of radioactive contamination in the St. Louis area. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers confirms there are still low levels of contamination on the banks of Coldwater Creek in North St. Louis County. It's been there for decades and came from bomb-making materials dumped during World War II. Today at the rally, Senator Hawley pushed for bipartisan legislation that would help those affected with medical bills.
Courage and tenacity has brought us here today. It's the courage of the folks behind us. It's the courage of the people who would not take no for an answer. And I want to introduce from the state of Missouri,
family, step up. Come on, we're all going to step up a little.
Hawley wants to expand the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act to include federal payouts for impacted St. Louisans. If it becomes law, anyone who lived in the affected areas for at least 2 years since 1949 and had medical complications on the pre-approved list would qualify for compensation. If an affected family member died, a relative could make a claim. The Senate passed the expansion, so it's now awaiting House approval. Right now, MoDOT is trying to expand Amtrak's Missouri River Runner service between St. Louis and Kansas City. The department submitted 4 applications to allocate funds to study passenger rail options. If approved, Amtrak could also explore adding new services between KC and St. Joseph and KC to the Springfield and Branson areas. St. Louis County just approved big new tax incentives for Boeing to increase its presence near the airport. The County Council approved millions of dollars in tax breaks last night. 5 on your side's Alex Fees reports from Berkeley with what this means for the region.
The St. Louis County Council voted Tuesday night to give Boeing tax incentives for the $1.8 billion expansion that officials at that aerospace giant are proposing recently. And last night, the county executive, Dr. Sam Page, said he would sign that measure into law this morning. Dr. Page released a statement saying, in part, landing this deal will bolster St. Louis County's brand as a national leader in the defense industry. Approving these incentives demonstrates to the federal government that Boeing has the support of the community. And Boeing officials released this statement saying, in part, quote, "This vote will help us offer cost-competitive proposals, marking the first step toward bringing more high-paying jobs to the greater St. Louis area. We look forward to continuing to work with our collaborating partners on the next steps of this project." Boeing officials want to expand operations, and they're looking for the best place to do that. This proposal would create hundreds of new jobs from one of the region's biggest manufacturers. This plan is to expand onto St. Louis Lambert Airport in a $1.8 billion investment. In turn, the company asked for a break on property taxes and personal property taxes. Again, that measure was approved. Several council members say they can see the pros and cons of the company's big ask. The vote was 4-1, with Councilwoman Kelly Dunaway as the lone dissenter. Now, Councilwoman Shalonda Webb abstained from a vote last night. She is employed at Boeing. She works as an engineer there. And Councilmember Dennis Hancock did not attend. He was absent last night. Reporting in Berkeley, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
You may soon have to pay a monthly fee to use a popular social media app. The changes Elon Musk is hinting at for users of X. Pat Sajak announced he's leaving Wheel of Fortune after this season. Well, we now know Vanna White's plans for the future.